Hey everybody, it's me, Crescendo, and I'm back with another sketchbook review. I think I said this last time, but it feels like these are coming fast and furious now. I feel like every time I look up, I've finished another sketchbook, which I guess is a good thing. Part of doing this series was making sure that I did more drawing in my off time, my non-working time, and it is working. I am drawing a lot more. So, welcome to my Sketch Play Shown Quick sketch review, where I talk about the drawings I've made and tell you about what I was thinking when I was making these artworks. We'll toast to some art while I have a frosty beer on this noisy night in Asia. First up, we've got the mini-armed techno goddess. I think one thing you'll notice in this sketchbook is that I have gone all in to robots and technology and cyberpunk dystopian futures. Here we go. This is a much more fun take on the future. And we have Techno Shiva here, creator and destroyer. Their claw arms and OLED readout arm here to tell her the diagnostics of the world. Diagnostic? Maybe that's her religion. She's a diagnostic. Diag.gnostic. There we go. Put that in the comic book. It's a wrap. Excuse me while I kiss this beer. Next up, the artist in turmoil. This illustration goes out to all the bad clients out there screaming over my shoulders with their party hats on and Pantone skulls flying in the sky. Next, my techno obsessiveness grows into imagining what the future of religion looks like after the world ends. Maybe this is like an alternate take on the Terminator. So the Terminators have destroyed the world, and after that basically destroyed themselves. Humanity has come back without a lick of understanding of the future nor the past, but they do find these fallen, destructive machines or their remnants laying all about and come up with a whole new techno religion a la Horizon Zero Dawn, but they fetishize the metal in the machine. Everything must be idolized that is metal. So that was the thought process behind the sketch. Drumming out that storyline while I drew it. You think that metal skull looks a little bit like the Danzig skull? Worked on it. I think here is where my techno fetishism starts to meld with sort of fantasy art, a little bit of technomancer, technology meets magic. Technology meets magic, visualizations that start to crop up more and more as the sketch pad goes on. Kind of like to think of this blend of monsters, robots, and magic. Something that's kind of fun. It's always happening on this strange off-world planet, this other Earth. Maybe spelled with a U-R-T-H, that still has dinosaur-sized monsters slithering around in the swamps. In this one, I was maybe thinking a little bit about Mega Man, but not Mega Man, but Mega Man knockoffs. I feel like there were quite a few Mega Man knockoff games I played when I was growing up. I never really took to Mega Man so much. I like the idea of Mega Man and Mega Man X, but the games never really caught my imagination. A few others like Shockman that I did enjoy, that I played a lot when I was a kid, and this feels like it has more of the aesthetic of Shockman, at least with this guy. The rest of it has this kind of maybe another envisioning of what religion would look like in the future, in the robot apocalypse future. We see here another artifact of the future past has been found, some sort of sentient, doll-like robot maybe the key to a ancient technological civilization lost to time. They found her, think she's a god, and they're setting her up in the ruins of the cities that their ancestors used to inhabit. I feel like this has kind of a one more for the road. I was working on these when the latest Doom game came out, and I think I was kind of thinking about those robo-demon abominations that inhabit the world of Doom, even though this Doom of the Dark Ages is much more of a medieval bent to it. I'm still attracted to the demonic robots that are present in the earlier Dooms, and I think that's showing here in these sketches. Here I go, moving more into the fantasy over the sci-fi elements. Definitely a metallic golem here, sleeping in the misty mountains, as you can tell by the metallic seams, but also organic. I was inspired by those amethyst. Thought it was cool to have an amethyst inside this sleeping giant's head. She has some tears rolling down, maybe thinking about the past that is gone. Back to more future dystopian lore. When I sat down, this image popped into my head. A future soldier in a future war, augmented, connected to the net, everything monitored with these wild cameras in their headpiece, with only one duty, and that's to exterminate all life. It's a scary concept, but you know what? These apocalyptic concepts are also pretty cool to draw. I like the way this one came out, and I feel like I will actually soon transfer this to my tablet and make a color version of it. I'll let you know if I do. I think I mentioned in some Sketchbook video that I really love this scene from Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, where there's a character in it who loves motorcycles. He loves motorcycles so much that Freddy Krueger, the Dream Demon, the villain of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, decides to invade his dreams and fuse him with the thing that he loves. He turns the guy into a frightening man-machine hybrid. Wires spill out of the bike, take over the guy's body, and then drive him into a semi-truck. It's funny to say this may have inspired me to drive motorcycle, but when I was a kid, man, that scene was real cool. I kind of loved it. So I decided to bring it back in my own style in this drawing, where this guy, this speed demon, has fused with the machines and become a terror of the highway. One thing that I love more than any other genre, even post-apocalyptic fiction with robots, is film noir, or pulp. Pulp if it's book fiction, film noir if it's film fiction. There's something really close to my heart about detectives and detective stories. The notion of one man against a criminal syndicate, or a corrupt city council, a film studio that's murdering its celebrity stars. So I decided to blend two things together. One of those is my love for detective fiction, and the other is in keeping with the theme of this book, which is robots. So this lady is a robot in my mind's eye. She's been murdered. She's some sort of served by some sort of android that takes care of humans. Maybe she works at a hostess club. This whole detective here is on the case. And here she is, Miss Galaxia. You're welcome. My terrible singing voice. Miss Galaxia, she's here. My sci-fi and robot death launched me all the way into what a beauty pageant would look like in the future, in the stars, with none of the pageant contestants being what humans would call conventionally attractive. I wanted to make these contestants a little bit monstrous, but also make them relatable and give them a bit of humanity, even if they were not human. So we see here this Cyclops, Cyborg, taking home the Miss Galaxia prize, loving it, basking in the confetti flying down from the ceiling, while these two second and third runner-ups are just so mad. More robots. There are many places where people are being replaced by, not really robots, but machines. Like every time I go to the airport now, I'm ordering off a screen instead of talking to a person. I may be picking the food up from a person, but I'm definitely ordering from a screen, which is something I don't really love. You know, it's only a matter of time until these Boston Dynamics robots are cooking our food and making our drinks, which is one thing I never want to happen, at least for the drinks. I like to go to a place and have someone make a cocktail for me. I think it's one of the rare pleasures in life, is like the idiosyncratic way somebody makes a drink. It's also nice to see the bartender's face, talk to them about how they came up with the concoction, and taste something you never tasted before. I don't want to see that go away with robot bartenders. I think we're not so close to this grim, dark bartending future. I want to hang on to all the humanity I can. Death Tetris. Maybe I sat down thinking, what would happen to a robot if it blew its brains out? Maybe they would come out like Tetris pieces. And here we go. There's that drawing. Cosmic Bubble Bath. I think I talked about this in my Sketchbook showing quick captions for this video, but I have a memory of seeing a friend once in the bath who was suffering from what I can only imagine, terrific migraine. Caused her not to be able to move, and all she wanted to do was relax in the bath with a towel over her face, warm towel over her face. There was something beautiful about that pain. I remember I took a picture of it. She was super mad about it. For her, it was just a moment of agony and interruption to her life on a vacation that she was looking forward to. But for me, it was formally beautiful. The stillness, the kind of ragged breath, quietness of the bathroom scene. They all worked together to make something that was genuinely touching. So I brought it into this drawing of a robot in the bath, so for some reason blowing bubblegum bubbles on some distant world full of purple mesas and a vast sky. Drawing number 200. This was the 200th sketch play shown quick sketch that I've done, and I was so happy about it, I made you guys a cake. Surprise, it's a carrot cake. It's my favorite cake. I was maybe inspired about this lady popping out of a cake by the infamous / famous Marilyn Monroe video of her singing Happy Birthday Mr. President to Mr. President John F. Kennedy. For some reason, in my head, she was jumping out of a cake, but recently rewatched that video, and it turns out she was not coming out of a cake. There was no cake at all, I think, but in my head, she will always be jumping out of a cake. And here she is, my future Marilyn Monroe. I started out thinking that I would draw her as a robot with 4 arms, but it just didn't work out that way. She ended up being some sort of interstellar mutant, 4-armed seductress who is singing Happy 200th Birthday to the Robo-President. Ooh, we're getting close to the end here. After my 200th sketch play birthday bash, I just wanted to ease into something that was comfortable, and that was Kung Fu Fighters. So I drew these 2 Kung Fu hustlers, a man and a woman, the man looking suspiciously like Ryu, and a woman looking like a Brazilian ninja lady. What really kicked off this idea was seeing this two-tone tuxedo in an anime, some old anime, I can't remember the name of it right now. Made me think, oh, that'd be a great outfit for a crime boss. And what does every crime boss need? A good butt kicking. And who better to kick butt than these two kung fu cuties? From an ode to Kung Fu Hustlers to an ode to Contra. I've talked about my love for games like Castlevania in the past, and the captions for my sketch play showing quick videos. Another game that I hold dear to my heart is Contra. I grew up sometimes playing Contra with my mother. It was a two-player game, so she would sometimes join me in the antics. She was more of a Pac-Man gal, but she would join me on games like Contra to make sure we had some family fun time in the games arena. Those are fond memories of my childhood, so Contra is a fond memory always in my mind. I have this lovely space vampiress sleeping in a sacrilegious cryo chamber, awaiting her time to be found, freed from her eternal slumber to feast on the lifeblood of everyone below her orbital spacecraft. Like I was just talking about, Konami games hold a dear place in my heart, and one of those Konami games is, of course, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This drawing is undoubtedly takes reference from the art of Symphony of the Night. All the Draculas and the Dracula hunters have a sort of ethereal beauty to them. This lady doesn't quite have the ethereal beauty, but she does have a loveliness, I think, in the face. She's a bit less wafy than the illustrations that come out of Castlevania, and I like that. She's a full-figured vampire lady waiting to suck your blood. And then came the last image. My dog Princess out for a stroll with her robotic manservant. Maybe my thoughts of other worlds and fantasy worlds led me to this composition, where I was thinking about like medieval princesses and that would go out for strolls in the dangerous lands to be kidnapped by orcs or trolls or some other monstrous being, but that princess having a dog face and riding a skeletal horse. Just gotta give everything a twist, you know? Why keep it normal when you can kind of go funny with it? And that's it. That's my last drawing for you guys. The end of another sketchpad. I think this is the 5th so far that I've shared with you, and it is a pleasure each and every time. I hope you enjoyed me sitting down and talking about my work. Hopefully it gives you some insight into my mind, or maybe helps you with your own practice to see how somebody else thinks when they sit down. Alright guys, hope to see you at the next one. Please like and subscribe if you're not subscribed or liking. Drop me a comment if you have any thoughts about my artwork or have any questions about what I'm drawing. And I hope to see you on the next one. Crescendo.